All right, welcome back, everybody, for episode 9 of 86. Apologies for this being late. I'll talk about it more in maybe another video, or I'll probably leave a comment. More importantly, I want to talk about last episode. And more explicitly, I want to talk about my discussion in the last episode. I don't think it was very good. I had a lot of thoughts from last episode, but as I went back through it, I realized I didn't really conclude my thoughts as I went through. I had a lot of bullet points. I had a lot of things that I wanted to bring up, concepts from other shows that I've watched to kind of try to lend like supporting evidence, or like lend like a thought way of my thoughts through the episode, but or the reasons why I thought certain things were really good throughout the episode. But in doing that, I think I kind of lost other people who hadn't, not even people who hadn't seen the animes or the stories that I was referring to, but I kind of lost myself in showing evidence and not in concluding thoughts. So let me just take a quick 5-10 minute long rundown of what I talked about in the last episode, and kind of what my thoughts were and what my conclusions that I reached through my thoughts were, without me trying to bring up the evidence to support everything I'm saying, and maybe we can understand my stance on everything. So to start with, in the last 7 episodes, right, episode 1 through 7, I kept bringing up how I wanted to hear from the Republic, right? In the first episode, I talked about in a sci-fi, you're answering a question, right? And in doing that, you want to have your evidence be, you want to have both sides of your conflicts represent something, and more importantly, you want those sides of the conflict to represent themselves. If you just make evil empire to fight, you're not really taking advantage of sci-fi, right? Through the last couple episodes, I just felt more and more as we built up this evil view of our empire, or I keep calling them the Empire, but they're not Empire, and that's part of what bugged me, was like, they feel like Star Wars evil empire, right? No personality, no idea of what their politics, of what their how their people exists are. We're just thrown into this like macro level, here's our good happy crew, and here's our kind of evil, totally evil enemy force that we don't know, and we don't know what they're fighting for, and we don't know how. It's like when you have a villain that wants to take over the world, but then you're like, well, what are you going to do once you take over the world? You just want everybody to bow before you and worship you? Like, that's not a real way to live. You just want to make everybody into slaves? Well, of course I want to stop you. I don't even know how you would catch that kind of reason in your brain. And when you do that, when you bring your antagonistic force to the point that it's unknowable, you have lost any and all nuance to that, and that makes and having no opposing argument to your everybody should be happy and at peace and love each other and blah blah blah, you make that hollow too. You make your argument of everything should be good hollow, because you just have a simple view of how these things work, right? So in the last episode specifically, we learned more, and we learned it through having our two representatives outside of Lena, of the Republic, actually be real humans. Because for the last couple episodes, or for the entire series up to then, they had been robots. They were friggin' cardboard cutouts of people who, whenever you interacted with them, they would go, well, the Republic's official stance is that they aren't people, and we just say screw them because they don't matter. And it's like that response doesn't have any sort of humanity in it. It doesn't have any sort of nuance, any sort of deeper thought to it, right? But we get it in the last episode, and I think that's great. I think that was really, they held it as long as they could. The reason why at the end of episode 7 I said I can't make a good discussion, I have to go to the next one, was because I was at the point where it's like, okay, at this point, if we don't learn anything about the Republic, then this series has a really bad, like, the series isn't doing a very good job of representing both sides. So let's talk about that representation, right? And we have it through our two characters, Annette. Sorry, hold on. I know that whenever I spin the weight off of this, makes a big noise. And we have that through our two. So let's talk about our two representatives, Annette and Jerome, right? And they're each similar, but they show different parts of how we got here, right? They're going the same exact road, actually, but one's a scientist and kind of represents the citizens, and one is a soldier and represents the government, you could say. And I think that there's still more to be revealed here. It shouldn't just be up to citizens and soldiers for why something like this would happen. But for now, let's talk about what the evidence that we have. For now, let's talk about the story that we have in front of us, right? Not what could be more. Let's talk about what we have and explore that, because that lets us actually internalize some things. So starting with Annette, right? Her story. No, I gotta say this. So both of our characters have guilt, right? From the start of it. And one of the things that I think I didn't communicate very well is that I consider both Annette and Jerome good people. The reason why they're good is because they have regrets. They have guilt that they bring up. Despite all that they say, despite all that they try to show, despite everything that they try to do, all of it is based on not just being evil. It's based on trying to resist being a good person, trying to deny being a good person, trying to choosing to be an evil person, right? There's a difference between being evil and choosing to be evil, because an evil person doesn't consider themselves evil. They consider themselves real. They consider themselves just doing what people do, but they wouldn't call themselves evil, because nobody wants to be evil. That's what evil is. Evil is something that you determine to be against what people should be doing. So for Annette, right, she has this guilt of what society made her into, right? Or I think it's a bad way of putting it, but I'm going to try to talk around it, and maybe we can conclude to you can understand what I'm trying to say. Annette was a kid when all this was going on, right? And as soon as it happened, all the kids in her class started making fun of her, and started bullying her. And she had a friend who was an 86, who was Shen, obviously. But eventually, under just the pressure of society, she rejects him. She calls him, you 86, less than human, blah, blah, right? And my cat's about to interrupt us, but that's not important. And from that, she discovers this evil, dark part of herself that, like she says in the episode, she's scared of. She holds fear that she could ever feel something like that she could ever say something like that, right? And then from that, oh my God, am I like this? Am I an evil person? When her dad tries to be a good person, that fear comes back, but the pressure of society and the fear of herself leads to her choosing, maybe not the fear of even herself, but like she falls into the same fear that made her say what she says, and she gives her I'm going to say this. And then after that, when her dad reaches hold on a second, my cat is up here. He's slightly distracting me. And then after that, when her dad tries to be a good person, tries to be above and beyond, she, out of fear, gives him an out. And that's the word she used. She gave him an out. She gave him the ability to be a bad person and told him, no, I don't want you to do that. I'm your daughter. She pulled rank. And the way she considers the way that she considers it, and the way that she considers that is that she made him lesser, right? She brought this paragon of goodness in her life through her father, right? And she gave him the ability to be an evil person. And then, of course, after that, made him do the experimenting, and he, gets killed because even though he's a good person, he gets killed because he tries to be a good person, but once again, society responds by killing him. Like, she knows he was killed by one of his colleagues probably, and that was her final straw. She decides after that, fine, if this is the way that the world is, if I'm the kind of person that I've led I killed my father by telling him to do these things, by letting him, by pretty much forcing him into being a bad person. I killed my father. If the world is like this, rather than having the pain of rather than carrying this pain of guilt and trying to fight and trying to be a good person, trying to fight for that, forget it. I will be the worst person, right? And maybe in becoming a villain, I won't be in such pain anymore. I won't have such guilt eating away at me. And that's understandable. That's contradictory in choosing to be bad so that you feel less guilt about being a bad person. That's contradictory. That's human. That is the lizard brain at the back of our heads that wants to feel safe and to eat and to procreate and all that, interacting with the front part of our brain, the that wants to interpret the world and think on a higher level. That is the contradiction in between there that makes humanity, that makes the way that we live our lives, right? That makes the beauty and the disgustingness that is being a human, right? So that end we get Annette. And I like to think that maybe her experience or her thoughts, of being the villain to no longer feel guilt would represent at least a pretty good amount of how the Albas feel about that. One day I'll find a word that I'm going to settle on for referring to Republicans, the Alba, whatever. I don't know why I've completely lost the plot regarding that. I guess Alba is just the correct way to call them. I don't know. I would consider that to be a representation of the citizens because that's what we've interacted with. That's how a story is built, is that the main characters of its plot must represent whatever they come from, right? And so we get the view of wanting to fit in with everybody else. And we've done so much terrible stuff already, might as well keep going. And on the other side, we get Jerome, who would be the representation of the soldiers. And what does he think? Well, first off, hey, this is the position of the government. History is all that matters. We are doing a terrible thing to these people? Sure. But we need it to be done because the citizens want it to be done. And in order for the guilt and in order for our country to not be put in history as the villains, as this great pariah, as let's just call it what it is. It's kind of the Nazis. The only way that we can continue to be the good people, that we can be a righteous state of freedom, is if every single one of the people that we have done terrible things to disappears off the face of the map. And then suddenly we can just say they never existed in the first place. It doesn't matter. They can move on with freedom and justice for all. That's behind us and with us. And that makes sense to me because once again, that's the contradictoriness of humanity. This part says we want to be, we need safety and we need a fast, easy solution to feel safe and to eat and to mate and to have homeostasis. And this part of the brain says, well, we need to feel like we're the good people while we're doing that, but also we're not good people. How do we rectify these two opposing forces? Well, we say those people are not like us. They don't deserve the freedom and justice and happiness. And if they're gone, we don't have to feel the guilt of having gotten rid of them. After all, really, we're just conscripting them. After all, really, we're just drafting them into the army to defend us. That's all that we're asking, really. It's not like it's not like we're putting them in slaughterhouses. They're going to defend us. They're dying doing the good justice thing that they should be doing. What's that? When they survive for too long, we literally put them on death duty. Someone has to do it, and they're really protecting us so that the next group of people that we need to send out to the firing range has a little bit of a better of a shot or something like that. I don't know. Shut up. Okay. And then on top of that, so and suddenly when we hear that and the way that Jerome speaks about it, we realize, like I said, the whole series, Jerome always says, hey, the will of the state, the duty of the soldier, blah, blah, blah. Jerome feels guilt about that. As somebody who is like a high-level military guy, I have to do what is necessary, but this is terrible. And I realize that. I think that's compelling. That's cool. That makes sense, right? It fits. And he gives a really sad speech, right? And the saddest thing about it is, man, I damn near agree with it. Of hope and despair, two sides the same thing, and that humanity didn't even deserve freedom, free will. We weren't ready for it. We never will be. Damn. This country is full of fools and villains. There are no heroes. No one will believe you. No one will join you. You can protest and try to do the right thing till you're blue in the face. Doesn't matter. End of the day, we'll do our villainous, foolish actions forever. Man, is that sad. And so with that, we now have come to, like, with that, we've represented, the soldiers and the citizens, I would say, of the country, and we've come to the conclusion, wait, we've just chosen to be villains because it's what we needed to do. We don't want to feel the guilt. We don't want to feel the evil. We don't want to be evil. And so we'll do evil until it's gone, until we can call ourselves just again. We'll be evil until we can call ourselves just again. Something to that. I like that. That's cool. That's compelling. And while it's terrible, but it's so human. And as the antagonist advocate, I have no choice but to respect it. Because if you try to understand your villains and you don't just go, oh, well, they're all evil assholes, we need to get rid of them. Right? If you try to understand your villains, you try to understand an author's viewpoint of reality. You can understand it, then you can control it, and you can change it, maybe. Maybe. Hopefully. But in conclusion, sorry to do a 6th grade essay in conclusions at the end of this. We have now established that our Republic citizen, or our Republic characters are people who represent the general thoughts of the people, right? Just like how our 86 crew represent the general thoughts of the 86 characters that we know from the Republic represent our general thoughts of the Republic. And what is it? Guilt for what we have done, necessity to do what needs to be done, and a choice to, instead of living your life thinking that I'm simply the villain and trying to resist the times, trying to resist the will of the people, the general consensus. Instead, I will choose to just become the demon. Instead of being in the hell of guilt and regret, I will be the demon that creates more guilt and more regret until at the end, I don't have to feel anything anymore. Something to that. That's so sad. And it's so interesting. It makes me so excited, right, to see what our final answer to all that is, right? Because that's what this is. It's a big complex question of, hey, these are our pros and cons, and these are this sides, and these are this sides. And the person who has to answer all that, who has to stand up, has to give an answer to all that, is Lena. What does she choose to do, given that as her, given the two paths ahead of her? Because on one side we have how Jerome and Annette deal with this reality, which is to accept it and become, you know, the champions of it, to perpetuate it, to continue it. And on our other side, we have Shen and the rest of our 86 crew are 86-4. Five, because Theo, yes. Who, in a way, are now such like amazing people that they've pushed Lena, our force of good, into being like the neutral, right? Isn't that weird that Jerome and Annette have made Lena, like, they are the evil to Lena, right? They are continue the way that everything is, and the 86 crew is selfless sacrifice. Just sacrifice yourself to it and do all the good that you can because you love people, right? And it's not that I'm saying Lena is neutral. Like, if you had the D&D chart, she's true neutral. No. Lena is chaotic good, right? But our 86 crew is now lawful good. And you can replace lawful with stupid, because lawfulness is ridiculous. Always. When I get to that nice true neutral zone. So I'm interested to know how we want to continue this, how we want to conclude this, how we want to continue going forward, and maybe we'll make and maybe will surprise me, because usually, and this is, you know, we're gonna just put it out there because we're analyzing storytelling. Usually in a story, in far too many stories, when we get to a really hard question like this, we will give our characters a third way out that is sudden and out of nowhere. And if we can think of a clever solution that leads to that third way out, then that will be really cool. But if we just do a random third way out of nowhere, which is wherever these I'm playing with stuff on my desk as I'm talking, which is never a good thing because my audio is going to be messed up. But anyway, if we find a third option that comes out of nowhere and is maybe these people from the east that have killed a shepherd, possibly, then hopefully that comes at the end of a nice conclusion of Lena making the decision that I can agree with, that I think is cool. Yeah, I think I did a good job of concluding my thoughts from last episode. I hope. If I didn't, then let me know, and I'll try to continue to keep moving forward. We're on month 2. We're halfway through month 2 of this channel being up. Hey, there's going to be some rough parts. Trying to keep my passion. We're at the point where, like, I got to keep the passion going. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is we'll work on all that. I'm running on fumes now. I'm talking about nothing. Let's go ahead and get into episode 9 and possibly 10. I don't know. Once again, sorry these are coming out like way late. Like I'm recording this way late, and it's probably gonna be put up even later. So hopefully everything's good. And I can catch up, and people aren't too mad. Actually, you know what? 86, you guys shouldn't be mad at me. You guys get like extra episodes all the time. I don't know why you would be mad at me. I think you guys have gotten, what, 2 or 3 extra episodes? So please, just once, let me miss a week. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the episode. By the way, it's hot as hell in my room, so I just went ahead and got rid of All Might. I'm sorry. Well, that's Dynasty Warrior rules. Alright. Don't be all Kirito like you can do it on your own. Alright. 1v1000. I have no idea how an episode like this will go on. I'm trying to think of like what I would want. I would want Lena to show up, but like I don't know if that's a possibility. I really can't guess what an episode like this would be. I would want Lena to show up in some way, shape, or form with an idea, but I have no idea what it would be. I'm truly lost. Is there anything that we've built up that would be like, whoa, crazy, we brought in this? I don't know. I don't like being caught flat-footed. I like having a... I mean, actually, I'm super cool with being caught flat-footed, but, Man, it's crazy the number of faces that have just disappeared. I haven't talked about it at all, but, like, there's a lot of missing faces here. Hey, how you doing? Sounds about right. It's not the Legion. Why did I say that? Gosh darn it. I pronounced it like the voice actor did. I'm such a weeb! Sorry, that's Shore commanding them, not the Legion. Yeah, it's kind of a tank, it looks like, so... I don't know if I'm fully... like, what's the word? Committed to the Shin versus Sore duel to end all duels. Yeah, no, that's not gonna... I could have told you. I could have told you that without all that. They didn't immediately tell you that was dumb. What the heck is that? Oh my. Ooh, hey Lena. Also, alright, it overwrites your straight up, whatever it's called. Your visual. Yes! Okay. Yeah. Yeah, rebellion. Yeah. Yep. Yes, she is. She has fully taken the position of the fool. Congratulations. She's one of the boys now. Oh my god. Okay, I know this term brings up a lot of, like, bad connotations for some reason. But Lena's kind of based. That was based as fuck. Okay. We don't have a society answer yet, but we have an answer to this conflict, which is nice. It's the only way we can operate. One conflict at a time. Ooh. Alright, we are officially in enough of a battle that yes, these 3D mechs, kind of sick. Liquid metal, huh? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, really, it's kind of goofy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of goofy, but I love it. You're gonna try to snipe it? Ah, cool. End of the story, huh? Nice. Of her clipping her thing. That's a story within a nice. Mm-hmm. Ah. Showing the reaching out to choke him again. Yeah. Finish taking off your head this time. Mm-hmm. I see what you're doing. Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they're fake there. Ah, that's smart. Okay. Impossibly accurate, but smart. Hey man, I wonder if this is sounded by the Attack on Titan guy. I couldn't tell. Sorry. It's a fun moment though. Okay. Once again, I'm gonna apologize for this. Tap him on the forehead. Sorry, I find that funny. I'm sorry. He basically did it. Shut up. It's what he. Yeah. See. Give him the forehead. Itachi forehead. I'm sorry. I'm in the moment. I'm really in the moment. I'm not very good at going but I can make a joke that entertains myself. But that was not a full episode. Shut up. Okay, I've been recording for 13 minutes. That is not a full episode. The level of anger I just felt at the ED coming in. Shut up. Okay, it's okay, man. Hurts. Forgiveness. Carried that for years, man. Oh, 86. I've already seen Arcane. I'm saying for the scratchy graphics over eyes. Anyway, aw. Well, now what? I guess we go off into the woods and create new society? Cause like they 100% think you're dead now. You packed up your shit. What do now? Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't even been from the other side. Oh, that's great. We hear it from her. Okay. Nice. Aha. That's what you get for pretending to be a bad person. You don't really have to, but okay. It's okay. I can imagine the conversation, but I can understand why you would want to show me the conversation. Call her out on her shit. Let's go. Slay Queen. Girl boss the shit out of her. Girl boss her. Do it. I mean, yeah, good. Thank you, Lena, for not being less smart than us. I mean, she does have basically the same overarching view. Oh shit, she's really girl bossing the shit out of her. I was joking. Yo, why is Lena such a G? Wait a minute. I don't think he remembers you, dude. Haha. Girl boss the shit out of her. Come out into the rain with me. Get out of your nice little stasis bubble. I see what you're doing there. Yeah, you gonna do it a third time? Huh? Huh? Ooh. Ooh. Absolutely. But I get results. Ain't that how we were living, right? That's fun character work. That's fun character work. See? Yeah, really? Okay. Now, doesn't that feel better, though? Mm-hmm. Fun character work. Just fun character work. Oh, are we gonna make out over the thing now? So like, yeah, really? Yes, you did. She turned to a rebel. Fuck yeah. Girl boss. That's what we call it in the modern day. I'll emotionally manipulate you as much as I want. So that's girl bossing. Fuck yeah. Fun. We have such a like fun. There's such a fun commitment to characters' eyes, especially when we're in this like perspective. You get to see from over here, you get to see from over there, and we needed the maps and whatnot. Okay. Now then, what the heck are we gonna do? I don't know. I mean, what? Yeah, really. We're in the final mission of Halo Reach. Did you not realize? Nah, dude. I was like, Bury the Light was playing while I was. Aw. Yeah, that's about right, huh? Edge of communication. Boundary we can't beat. Absolute boundary. They've been building it up. I told you, they kept bringing up absolutes. This is the last one, distance. Break the rules. That's what we've learned. You can't escape your barrier, huh? Can't beat that. Okay, I'll stop doing the joke eventually, but I'm gonna do it one more time because they did. Can you tell that Attack on Titan person did this yet? Silence, silence. I'm sorry. That's all I'm saying. Finally a short video, though. Finally a short video. So I don't have a whole lot that I want to say. I'll have a lot of fun, but this might be like 22 minutes long. Finally under 30 minutes for 86. Excellent. Are you sure about that? Away they go. Beyond the boundary, some would say. We don't talk about that anime either. No signal. Nice. Man, that's not even a core finale. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so we got an episode. We got some fun character stuff in this too. We got some So I don't think we have a lot to talk about in this episode. Simply because I don't think we had like a complex series of things, or at least not anything that's going to like evoke a long discussion out of me for this episode. But though, to be fair, at the beginning of this episode, I put a pretty like 10-minute, 15-minute long discussion. So overall, it's going to probably be normal length, but you know, close enough. All right. And so we got a fun episode out of that. I don't think that we're going to have a long discussion on this because I don't think that I don't think we have a lot to talk about in it, and I don't have anything that I want to bring up in it. I think we did some really fun things with character work in this, and we did some really fun. We've concluded, or not concluded, but we've brought Lena to her next stage in her journey, and I guess I want to talk about that. So, as is tradition, let's just go back through the episode and let's talk about stuff as I see it. Probably be a good idea for me to change my glasses. So the first half of our episode is entirely centered around this conflict with Shin's brother, and so like part of the way through this, or in fact, let me go even further back. I don't think I've been particularly invested in Shin's conflict with his brother. And when I say that, I feel weird, because I'm not saying that the writing of it is bad. I'm saying I don't think there's anything of particular interest in slaying this dragon. There's emotional interest for Shin, but I don't know if I was fully convinced by that, or I was fully invested in that. And so we'll start off with the part that I'm gonna put my 2 cents of critique into. All right, the reason why I wasn't invested has to do with effectively how they've been focused on, or how I don't think the focus of 86 has been on Shin and Shorei. And the reason I think that is because I don't think that Shin and Shorei represent anything particularly to the story so far. And let me try to explain that really fast and really well. So when I started this episode, I talked about Lena I talked about Annette and Jerome, right? They represent the Republic stances and the Republic's people on how they view the 86, right? And that is what I would consider to be the main conflict of the story, is the conflict of in a weird way, I would say like 86 is about more how citizens treat soldiers than I would say that that 86 has been about like racism, right? Or classism. The idea of using them as unmanned drones comes off less of like horrifically treating second-class citizens, or not second-class citizens, treating a certain class of or person. It comes off more of how you treat calling them unmanned drones comes off more like how you would treat the wild number of soldiers, the number that shows up in the news of casualties of war, than how you would treat minority people, right, in a country, or a particular group of people in a country, right? Racism is like a super complex, nuanced social thing that happens. It can become military and war filled and terrible, like this universe's problems are terrible and dehumanizing and all that, right? But it's social. It's in a city. It's in day-to-day life. It's not, if you wanted to show that, I think making a show where there's such a large line between one side and the other, and where there's so much more representation of one side than the other, doesn't really evoke that, right? It doesn't really make me think of that. What it does make me think of is the way that a common person like me would think of a soldier. that get sent overseas to do our conflicts and to take all that danger onto themselves, and we don't want to think about them. We just send them out, and when they come back, we congratulate them and all that. And of course, the 86 in this don't even get that treatment. But I feel like there's something to that because of the way that this whole 86 situation is born out of the desire to have non-human fighters to do what must be done, right? Even the Legion is effectively that. It's we made a bunch of non-human fighters and they wiped us out because they became the fighters, and maybe not as a rebellion, maybe as a whatever. I guess now that I think about it, the Legion doesn't really get explained like the Geth in Mass Effect, where there's a reason why they do what they do, but for me to say, but maybe just as the dangers of making a technology that you can't control anymore, like a nuclear bomb, right? While the 86 would represent just absolutely treating, like, the natural progression of drafting is to have a warrior caste that are born to die for you in battle, right? That tracks really well, actually. Actually tracks super well for me. I would consider, like, so far, at least the visual that we've had feels like we're talking about soldiers more than we're talking about a group of, a culture of people, a race of people, of whatever, a subjugated group of people. And so when I look at Shin and Shorei, I can literally feel myself saying Shorei instead of Shorei. I've never noticed that, like, Shoho is really hard to say. Rei, when you look at Shin and Rei, I don't see personally, and maybe there's an interpretation, maybe there's something that, like, I'm not catching on to because I've been so caught up in my desire for character growth in a way, which is totally understandable. And as we watch, that's why I watch reactions, is because other people see different things than what I see, and then we get to bring it all together, and it's like, whoa, that's a really cool perspective that multiple people have come up with. Maybe there's something between, maybe for somebody else, I'm sorry, I really didn't transition that very well. Maybe to someone else, or one of you, hopefully, if you can go ahead and tell me that, I'd be really grateful. You can see the connection between that theme of the people and the soldiers and the racism, what Shin and Rei are supposed to represent, because I don't see it. It feels like it's a conflict that doesn't fill the whole of anything, right? So I give you so we'll use once again the example of what I talked about in the beginning of this. Lena and Jerome represent, to me, from my interpretation, the citizens and their feelings of, like, guilt of already having gone this far and might as well keep it going, and Jerome with the guilt of, well, this is what the people want from me, I will do what my duty is to do, the duty of that, and the hopelessness of that, right? In that they represent the military and they represent the citizens. But for Shin and Shorei, I don't know if they represent anything. They're just kind of a fun little piece of conflict to put in for us to have a main bad guy. And that feels flat compared to how much character and thoughts and I'll say philosophy. We haven't really gotten to the point where we're, like, philosophizing on anything, but I'll say philosophy that is being shown by the writing of everything else in the show. I don't know how to approach that, and because of that, I just don't feel it. For example, of, like, a rivalry between two characters and a fight between two characters that does evoke emotion for me. I've been calling them Virgil and Dante this whole time, right? What do those two characters represent, and what does that represent for the story? Well, Virgil represents giving up your humanity and becoming more like the demon in order to have more power, in order to invoke your will. I think this, I'm using the wrong word, but I'm going to say invoke your will upon the world, right? To change the world with the power that I've gained from losing my humanity. While Dante represents like fully accepting your humanity, taking it in and holding on to it and letting that become my power that I use to invoke my will upon the world, right? To change the world around me. And that is their main conflict between throughout all the games, is losing yourself to the demon or keeping your humanity and the things that you care about and letting that be your strength, right? Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry, well, I don't know anything about 2, but Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 4, and Devil May Cry 5, all those, that is the main conflict inside of their games, right? And that is why you care about it. You're like, oh yeah, no, Dante, keep your humanity. Yeah, you may, like, and both of them as characters, of course, have to sometimes contradict that. Dante, for example, in 5, fuses with his father's sword and becomes more demon-like and gains power from that. And Virgil becomes human for a little while, and he uses machinations and blah, blah, blah in order to make his way to the power that he needs and recombine, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, that conflict is what makes us care and what makes us go, oh man, I want to see who wins at the end of the day, right? I don't know anything. Shorai and Shen just fought, and then maybe if I give it a second viewing or something, I could see like a theme here, but I don't know. I think that the main victory, the main excitement, and the main thing that maybe like get into this fight that happened was entirely on the shoulders of Lena. She was the only one who had agents, who she was, hold on, no, I was going to say agency. That's not the right word. She is the one who has a major character growth, who changes as a person in this fight. Every fight is a conversation. Every fight is a character growth in some way. What is it, 210 in My Hero, where it's a fight between the two characters and their philosophies and blah, 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 is one of the most hype fights ever, even though it's not all that great of like a like high animation, super complex, punchy kicky choreographed fight, but emotionally it's an amazing fight because it has so many stakes, right? Other than Lena coming in and helping everybody out and joining our crew and fully accepting being the demon, right? Which we'll talk about later. I didn't really, the Shin and Shorai part of the fight, I didn't really care about. I think that kind of got away from me, but I think that I think I said what I wanted to say about that. Yeah, so for the beginning part of this episode, yeah, not a whole lot is going on. We're in a fight between these two, but you know, at the end of the day, who cares? By the way, CG mechs, this is the only episode, or I would say this is the first episode where we're not like really quickly showing, like the mechs make up the majority of this episode, and you see them a lot. They look fine. They look very, very good. As somebody who's been around since I've been around since before Tiger and Bunny, but like as somebody who watched Tiger and Bunny back in the day, boy, CG has finally gotten okay. It's been like 10 years plus, but CG is finally okay, especially when it's mechs, because you can go, that's just what the mechs look like inside the universe, you know? It's fine. They look okay. Now, after all that, we get the main star of this episode, of this fight, right? And it's Lena, right? So we're at our lowest point. Shin can't fight back. Giant reinforcements coming, because of course they are. Boom. And I think there's something to the decision of, hey, how do we show our character coming in? Our character finally bringing their influence into this fight. Giant hellfire raining down from the sky. And she immediately takes over the scene. Hold on, I'm going to actually slow it down for me, turn it back up so that I can actually enjoy this for myself again. I'm going to put this at like 1.5. Boom. Clear everybody away. taking over people's sight. We get mad. How we just told you not to show up. Why are you showing up again? You're an idiot. Why are you doing that? It's gonna get you blind. Doesn't matter. I don't care. And what about it? So what about it? Boom! Explosions from the sky. Blindness, who cares? Whatever. They're gonna shoot me because I used artillery? Who cares? Should have done this a long time ago. And we accept, oh, you're done, huh? You fully decided what you want to do. And that is to become a different kind of demon. The wrong kind of right, huh? The right kind of wrong. Huh? Fun. So I've run over, I've done a lot of thinking about 86, right? And the whole time I've been thinking about what is the focus of this series, right? And it's not about like the society of, or at least so far, right, throughout the series, throughout this first season, this first core, this first volume, it hasn't been about the society that we're in. It hasn't been about the world. It hasn't been about this conflict. The only thing that's centered and is constant in every episode, that is changing and that is going through a journey, is Lena and her indecision, her lack of ability to invoke her will, right? Her to have be done what she wants to be done. And so in this fight, yeah, our giant mecha robots are fighting each other, but the real excitement point, the whole hype point, is that Lena comes in here and she takes over right now. I don't want to die some fight. And then she did this a long time ago. You're a real idiot. Not doing it for you. The Legion would destroy us all. I'm doing it because I don't want to die. Bam. You want me to talk like you? Here's talking like you. Here's practicality. Shut up. I'll control the reality around me. I won't let the reality around me control me. That's sick. That's a hero's journey. When you want to invoke, create character change, when you want to make a character's arc, what do? You make a character, you make what they want, you give them a taste of what they want, you bash it down, and you say that was stupid that you thought you had what you wanted, you're nowhere near there, and you make them build it up and accept a part of what bashed them down and build themselves up again, and get bashed down again, build themselves up again. What did we get bashed down with last episode? Reality. Here's the reality of what's going on. Here's the dark side of what we're having done here. What does Lena take in order to get what she wants? A little bit of that dark side. A little bit of that. You know what? Forget what other people want. Forget the rules. Forget everything. I'll take what I want. She accepts that. And that it's shown better later, so I'm going to hold that. We're going to hold the rest of what I'm going to say about that. Or talking more about that, right? So in this conflict, we're providing support. Shin's being edgy anime boy. When I say things like edgy anime boy, I am not necessarily saying that with negative connotations. He's smiling in the face of danger. He's being an edgy anime boy. He's being a Kirito. However, there's nothing particularly wrong with that until it gets wrong. I will tell you when it gets wrong. We get our nice noodly arms. Always got to have arms reaching out with tentacle powers in an anime. That's how you know it's anime. And then we have another fun character, like a side story that's been done throughout the whole season that comes to a conclusion here. It's kind of sick. So I brought it up because I've seen it in a bunch of episodes. every episode that Lena starts talking to them, right? This girl, Karina, shut it off. I don't want to hear her. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. Shut it off. Don't want to hear her. This episode, she's about to tell her to shut up again. Forget about that. Right? Lena is telling her to do something to help them out. But no, what you're telling me, bullcrap. Get this all out. Have a plan. I don't want them to die either. Bam. Understood. Book closed on that. All right. Shorey is going through his mental stuff, or at least the simulacrum of Shorey and his emotional state. It's cool. Yeah, we get it. The symbolism of reaching out your hands for him to chop his head the rest of the way off. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Get the scene of seeing her in here. I don't know. I like that cut of little Lena smacking him being juxtaposed, being smash cutted into, being put in parallel with her shooting him with these dud bullets. It's cool. Nice cool guy scene. I thought for a second that he was going to have like a Berserk-esque highlighted shadow eye thing going on, but no, I think it's just something with his para-raid system, whatever. Doesn't matter. Yes. Attack on Titan at max. Holding little brother up. Forgive you, blah blah. Sadness showing the eyes. Yes, yes, yes. Then we get half the episode over. Okay. So then we go over here. We reveal that Annette is here with our main character to help her out, which immediately like, oh wait, we're creating change now. We show the scene, and we show the scene that makes me have to subscribe to Lena's OnlyFans because she slays Queen. She has integrated all of the. No, it's not that she's integrated it. She's. I wouldn't call this gaining mastery, right? She hasn't mastered her power, but she understands how the world works now. And she's willing to do what she must to make results. Gosh, I wish I could think of the word that I would want to use for she's halfway to being mastered. In the hero's journey, right? You death of the mentor, go away on your journey, blah blah, gain power, lowest point, blah blah, obtain mastery is your last stop. You gain mastery over yourself, and you gain the ability to affect the world around you. You become the hero, right? You've finished the journey. I've gained the ability to turn into a Super Saiyan. I've gained the ability to use the Force, yada yada yada. For this, it would be, I've gained the ability to change the world around me by affecting other people. And Lena is not mastered that ability, but she's on her way to that. And how does she do it? By talking to her exactly as she needs to be talked to. I need you for this. I need you for this. Do it. Not going to do it? Okay. Here's the information I have over you. Now I've got to talk to you to get you to do what I want you to do by understanding you. Here's what I understand about you. I know you regret that. I know that you still feel bad about that. You want to help somebody? Here, let me give you the opportunity. Don't worry about how. Don't worry about being smart about it. Do what I need you to do, and you can save that boy that you could never save. Be the hero that you want to be, that you keep telling yourself that you're not. I understand you, thusly I can control you. I understand you, thusly I want to help you. I'm able to help you. I have power over you. So cool. It's so Queen, man. And you make her have the slanted smile and the covered eyes. God, damn it! I'm subscribing to Lena. Damn it! I'm into her. She's great. She's great. Now, as long as we keep this up. Boom. I know what you want. Let's go. Come on, walk out here with me. Into the dirt and the wetness, the coldness. Do it. All right. You're already here. You can't back up. Let's go. You're gonna abandon him twice. She's full on. What was that? I just heard. Sorry. She's full on manipulating. She's full on accepting. Not accepting. She's using the parts of her that she knows for her benefit in order to get a good result. I said a while ago that the difference between a hero and a villain is the corruption of the world, right? If you accept too much corruption, you turn into a villain. You lose your goals. But right now, we're not falling to the corruption yet, but we have just enough. Just like how I was talking about how we're trying to bribe people, we're starting to wear black dresses out, we're rebelling, we're doing whatever we want because we're finding out that we can bend the rules in order to get the results that we want. Now we're at, I can manipulate someone to get the results that I want. Fun. It's so fun. It's such character work. Let me keep going and see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. But really, that's all I wanted to say. I would go deeper, but I kind of want to keep this video short. Let me keep going in case there's more that I want to say. I kind of want to keep it short just because I want to. And I also want to record one more thing today. But if I see anything else, if I remember anything else that I want to talk about. Yeah. You're the devil. Yeah, I thought that's what we were here. That's right. I am, and so are you. Exactly. That's what we are. We're not great people, but we get results. I'm the devil that does good work. Or at least I'll try to. She accepts that. The corruption of that. Fun. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I don't know if that... It picks up a little bit. Fun. Sorry about that. I was tapping my keyboard. Hold on. Shin's safe. Thanks to you. Are you happy? You got what you wanted. See? I'm not the one who did it. Yeah, sure. However you feel. All right. Sure, a little thing here. Suddenly turned into a bad girl. Hell yeah. She turned into a queen. You can call me the Lena simp from now on. Fun scene of like switching having the camera focus between their little paper cutout faces. That's kind of great. It's kind of adorable. And then the end of the episode where finally, after all this time of little spicing it in, just like with Lena slowly learning how to do some corrupt things, we spiced in absolute barriers between you and me. Well, here's the ultimate one. We have to move on and you have to stay. You can't follow us. You can't. Out of range. There they go. Not destroyed. What is it? No signal. Fun. Yeah, I don't think I have more thoughts, and if I did, it got interrupted by all the times I had to stop this recording. So that's gonna be it for me. Um, Once again, sorry for this being late. You are gonna be getting another one by the end of this week. I should be able to get back on track. Uh, Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for enjoying my stuff. If there's anything that you want to add on to my discussion, anything that I didn't communicate perfectly well, I know that I'm kind of goofy, and I'm kind of forcing myself to do this. Because I've been in that bad mood of like, I don't know how I want to start getting back into the swing of doing these, and I don't like that. Whenever I get like that, it makes me really not want to start recording. But I'm gonna start recording. I have a giant memory card now, so I'm gonna record like a bunch of things all at once, and then I want to edit them as fast as I can. And now I'm rambling about stuff that doesn't matter. So listen, if you like what I've done here, go ahead and hit that like button. Please leave a comment, like I said, and let's have discussion around this. Tell me things. If I missed anything, tell me. If there's any nuances from the light novel, tell me. And what's the last thing? Oh yeah, subscribe to my channel. Maybe that's a good idea. If you enjoy it, want to see more from me, and you want to support me, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. Till next time, I have been the Antagonist Advocate. Have a beautiful day.